I totally understand why he wants to sleep with the same woman that his brother did.
She sure doesn't seem to be into it.
I can understand why. He might be the son of Ragnar Lothbrok, but he's still a cripple. And that's Ivar. The one who touched her and
He's confident in every field except this one. Have fun!
Oh.
He's okay. No, I like that. I like seeing a more vulnerable side of him. Maybe I'm not gonna hate him that much. We'll see.
Maybe he's afraid that she's gonna see his legs. Oh, I can understand why he's anxious now. Oh, poor baby.
Like, does it work down there? We don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it won't because he's so out of his comfort zone. And you know, sometimes it won't get up.
Is he visiting Lagertha?
Maybe.
I saw blue on the flags.
Yeah, it seems so.
Yep. Yep! Hey, woman! Still love you.
Oh my gosh, he's doing his fire to everybody.
You must be King Ragnar.
And who are you?
Yeah.
It is a very great privilege to meet you, King Ragnar.
We've never seen him
I'm
before.
sure it does not amuse you to hear that my wet nurse told me many tales of your journeys west.
What is your name?
Astrid.
Astrid?
But don't worry about me.
I'm not worried about you. I'm old enough to be your father.
What a ridiculous thing to say.
It's been a long time, Ragnar.
We know Lagertha cares about her, but...
Oh.
I think you have to leave.
Okay.
Are you and that girl?
Why are you here, Ragnar Lothbrok? Ex-husband.
Yeah, ex-husband. Dude.
Why?
It is not my fault.
It is not my fault! I have to kill you. You cannot tell my brothers I'm not able to satisfy a woman.
Oh, fuck.
I will never embarrass you. I swear. Please.
Oh my god, inferiority complex. Shit.
I can kill him.
Yeah.
You're just a slave. Nobody will blame me for killing a slave.
That's right. That's right. Nobody. Only the gods.
What does it matter to them?
They know the truth. And they will laugh at you for being such a coward. So your prick doesn't work. Does that make you less of a man?
Oh. She's got him by the balls.
Lots of men can have sex. Lots of men can have children. Those things are easy. To be a son of Ragnar Lothbrok and to find greatness. That is hard.
He's really good.
I truly believe that.
Oh, shit.
I truly believe that.
Oh.
There's more to the facade with Ivar.
The livelihoods of our people, their future, and their happiness were all bound up in the success of our first settlement. And you failed to tell me of its destruction.
I regret. What happened with the settlement? And I regret what happened between us.
Oh my gosh, he's doing...
I have made many bad choices.
We all approved of your ideas. What did our son say?
He has other plans. He's his own man now. I should go to bed. I'm tired.
It's been a long journey.
I mean, so
Not in the saddle, but in the mind.
All our journeys are in the mind.
Forgive me for all of my faults, all of my failings. No regrets.
it feels
No
like
regrets.
a farewell. He's gonna kiss him one last time.
Not yet. Every regret.
I don't like where this is going.
He's not gonna survive this season.
Is he thinking about hanging himself?
I don't know.
Oh, he is thinking about this. Like, if that wasn't enough of foreshadowing! Oh, fuck. No. No. No, come on.
Oh my gosh! We didn't save him!
I thought he had a bit of a drive back. I was so wrong.
Nobody wants to follow him anymore. Not Floki, not Lagertha,
Yeah, he
not
lost
his own
everything.
sons.
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 It's
Odin
always
doesn't
the
want him
same.
to die.
It's always the same. Faith is taking out of his hands. When he wanted to stay and fight Rollo, that didn't happen.
You know that Mother never let anyone sit on your throne since she left. She always hoped that one day you would return. I would wait for everyone to go to sleep. And then like a crab in the moonlight, I will crawl out here and sit on your throne. And just think about how you abandoned me. I would try to will my stupid legs to work so I can go out and find you. And tell you how much I needed you. How much I hated you.
Well, perhaps I'll explain my actions when we get to England.
He's bringing him with him.
When we get to England.
He's giving him...
That is what I said.
What use is a cripple on such a journey?
Now then don't come.
Don't tell me what to do.
Then come.
No.
He's
Not
giving you a
unless you ask me
chance.
like you asked my brothers. Of course I'll come.
That's all he wants. Someone to give him a chance. Okay, that's cool.
He wants to be treated like
Oh, shit.
everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. This episode was
own
about two people.
father asked every one of his brother, do you want to come to England with me? But he didn't ask Ivar. At the end of it, he still didn't ask his son if he wanted to go with him to England. Just expect, we're gonna go to England together. No, ask me like you do with my brothers.
Yeah, treat me like everyone else.
I'm just as capable as them.
That's the episode.
Maybe.
The episode was about Ivar and Ragnar. That was so great. Okay, Ivar, I have a lot to say about.
Lots of depth with this character.
That's the thing. When we saw Ivar as a kid, he was entitled. He didn't care about anything. He was like one-layered kid that was really raised badly.
Yeah.
And then we first saw him as an adult last episode.
Well, maybe more teenager.
Well, yeah,
I think
teenager.
he might be maybe 16 to 17.
Okay, let's say teenager. And first impression of him was that same thing. He doesn't care about anything. He's entitled. He's disrespectful, and he's brutal. That was the first impression. So I'm like, he's still little shit. I love that this episode we got to see vulnerability. I really love that because I don't want to hate any character in the show. You know, I never really hate a character. I enjoy characters.
Sorry, I cut you. We don't hate characters. We hate what they do.
Exactly.
With their actions.
And when it comes to Ivar, I was like, at first I didn't want to hate him, but I was like, you're not helping your case. But after what I saw this episode, it kind of reminded me of Rollo. How we hated his attitude at first and how we couldn't trust him. And he was pissing us off. And then we felt happy for him when he was accepted in Paris. You know, our opinion of him changed. Yeah. And in this episode, I think that my opinion of Ivar, like, I'm giving him a chance to prove me that he could be an amazing character. I really love his layers. I really love the depths of what, and I mean, it makes sense, you know, a guy that is crippled, that, I mean, he lives in a culture of Vikings, you know, a culture of fighting and being man enough to prove that you can take what you want, and he's been taught that. He's not as soft as his brothers, but it doesn't mean he doesn't have a soft side, and it makes a lot of sense that he would want to always do better, always work harder, always try to go beyond what everyone else can do because he has to prove himself. No one is going to give him a chance. True. No one even looks twice at him, so he wants to prove that he can be better, and I think he is, and it's incredible. You don't expect him to be able to fight as good as his brothers, but he still managed to be better at archery, better at sword training, you know, or just equal.
Axe throwing too.
Exactly, and that's intense. And I mean, same thing I said when I saw him crawling around, and I was like, it's still creepy to see, but kudos to him for finding a way to move on his own. Yeah, and by the way,
remember when he was a little kid and he was in the...
Everyone had to carry him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want people to do things for him. Which is why I feel like when it comes to the girl, the slave he wanted to sleep with, yeah, it was sort of like the same, like he's used now to doing things his own way and just taking what he wants and just taking care of himself on his own. But with the girl, he had to ask. You know, his brothers had to help. Because she wouldn't come to him on her own, and it's not like he was pretending, like he was acting like he could take her whenever he wanted, but he was really insecure when it came to that.
Wouldn't you be?
So, yeah.
When you're that intimate with a person, you need to be bearing yourself.
It's not like
did you see his legs? I can understand why he would be so anxious to be that intimate with a girl.
And it's one area that he cannot train. Like, it has to come to him, and in this case, it doesn't. So.
Yeah. But I wonder though if his prick didn't work because of his condition, or maybe just because it wasn't comfortable.
Maybe because
sometimes it's not working. What are we gonna do?
He's paralyzed, so I think it's a bit of both. I don't think he can. Like they did say when he was a kid, he can't have children. It's over. So he is paralyzed.
He's not paralyzed. His leg are twisted.
Okay.
I don't really know the extent of his
case,
condition, but his bones are fragile. That if he tried to use them, they're gonna break, and they are twisted. But he can't technically move his legs.
If he can move his legs, then it might just be the nerves. But I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of both. Like historically speaking, like could he? Like
historically speaking, he wasn't crippled like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I've read about.
He could walk, right? He could walk.
He could walk. And the surname, the cripple, was maybe because of his attitude on the battlefield, but he wasn't crippled.
He had. I think you looked him up because you liked the character, you liked the person.
Like I said, I'm gonna be honest. I saw this turning scene, and that's why I got hooked on Viking, and I want to watch the show so much. That's why I looked up for Ivar and I looked up for Alex, and it's just. I'm so glad that we finally watched the show because we're at the part where I wanted to see so much.
And kudos to the actor, like he has to move on his own, like he has to drag himself all over the place, and that's.
I just want to point out something. With his condition, he might be in pain so much, but he doesn't show it.
I mean, that's the thing you told me before we even watched Viking. You told me that the real guy could walk, but he had to pretend like that it wasn't hurting. And no, that's what the actor did, right?
For his audition for the role, Alex asked a question. For his condition, did he have it since he was born? Yes. Yeah. So he just acted like he wasn't bothered by it,
and that's why he got the role. Because someone that lived with the condition his entire life would not act like he's in pain. And I mean, I can vouch for this because I'm not gonna say a condition, but it's almost like restless leg syndrome. I'm not sure if it's restless leg syndrome. Not just in condition. No, but I can vouch for the pain thing. When I was in second grade, my leg started hurting me whenever I would, sit down, or I was at school and my leg would just hurt so bad. And I remember my mom telling me that it was nothing, that she couldn't understand why I was in pain, but it hurt so fucking much, and it still does. But when I was in second grade, sometimes I would, try to massage my leg, and I would not pay attention to my teachers because I would be focusing on my leg too much. I would, take off my shoes and try to move my foot around. And even today, sometimes I have episodes where I really have to focus on my leg and massage it and stuff. Like, you've seen me, like, I've asked you to help me here and there.
And I've helped you and I've heard you.
But sometimes I think that, when I talk about my leg to my mom especially, and she's like, it's nothing. You think I don't feel pain and stuff. I'm like, you've never had this pain in your leg, so you don't know what it's like. But I live with it every day. And I would say, every day, every second of every day, my leg hurts. But I'm so used to it now that I just don't notice it. I push past and I don't focus on it. It's not as crazy, but it's similar. Like when you live with something all the time, eventually you just train yourself to push past.
Hang on to it. But I think there's a numbness that you're used to, and there's a fact that you don't want to be pity for it. So you're just gonna bear with it and just act your everyday life.
Even if you feel that pain, you're not gonna complain about it every single day. Like people are gonna get tired of it, and since they don't feel your pain, they cannot.
There's
relate.
No point to just say, "Oh my God, I'm hurting so much."
In their case, it's easy to look at him and be like, "Oh, poor kid. Like we're gonna cuddle him. We're gonna make sure he's okay." But after a while, he's gonna live with that condition his entire life, and people around him are gonna get tired of taking care of him. And I also have an example for that, actually, if you want to hear this. But it's really different, though. It's really different. But I had a friend once, we met and we spent like 2 weeks together, and we camped together with Dad. And he was autistic, and it really affected his speech and just his attitude and the way he would act. But he was a pretty cool guy. And I remember he would ask me, like, I would play a song, I think it was, La Vida Loca, Loca, stuff like that.
La Vida Loca?
Yeah, there you go. And I love that song, and I would play it on the radio, and he loved that song as well, and he would ask me to repeat it over and over and over again, and I didn't mind because honestly, that's what I do too. But the thing is, every time I had to rewind a song, I had to go into the tent and stuff and just play it back because it was a CD and I didn't have remotes or stuff. But and his dad saw me do that, and he was like, you know, you don't have to do everything he asks you to do. Like, it's like, I would do it because I thought like he's a friend of mine. He wants to hear the song, and he won't go inside and change the song himself. So I don't mind. I'll do it. But his dad has been changing the song every single day of his life. You know, he's been taking care of that all the time, and I could see that he grew numb to this. Like, he's not going to indulge him anymore, because if he did, he'd be always, you know, focusing on this and always, you know, being ready to change the song, and it's exhausting. So I feel like that's what's going on here. He cannot complain because people don't listen anymore. His condition is permanent, and he's not gonna be cuddled. And his need to be independent comes from his desire to do stuff on his own, and it also comes from the fact that he lives in a society that won't care if he cries or says like, oh man, I need help.
No.
At one point, you gotta move on. I think that's how he feels, and I see like how it affected him in his life. I see what sort of a guy he grew into, and I'm interested in seeing what he's gonna do next.
Fearing a bit the relationship with the brothers, between Ivar, Sigurd, Uba, and Vidzer.
Especially between Sigurd and Ivar.
These two seem to be at odds.
Yeah.
Shit. And I really hope that Margaret is gonna keep her mouth shut, because if she speak about the fact that
she's too
Ivar
scared.
Didn't succeed with the act,
Yeah.
Sigurd's gonna take it and just...
I think she's too scared to say anything, but I'm not surprised though between these two.
Do you think she's gonna be scared enough? Because she basically have all of the Lodbrok sons, all of the Ragnar sons in her hand.
She's still just a slave.
True. That's true.
But yeah, I was kind of expecting, like, I wasn't surprised. When they were kids, they spent a lot of time together when the others were at war or raiding.
Yeah, and Ivar was
And,
a shit with
he
his
saw-
older brother.
Like, that scene where he found Siggy and he told his mom and Ivar, and he was like, who cares? That doesn't mean anything. Like, that didn't mean just nothing. The kid grew up seeing that Ivar was favored by his mom, and he got a lot of attention, and he was different, and he was pushed aside. Like, Sigurd was pushed aside by his mom because she wasn't going through a good thing right at the moment, and I think he felt that Ivar got special treatment, and he grew into he was such an entitled little kid, and he hated to see like that connection between the mom and him. So I feel like he's got resentment when it comes to Ivar. Sigurd doesn't really like his brother. So oopsie.
There were so many good speeches in that episode.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, maybe just this one. Sorry.
Well, the episode was good.
Sorry, but I really love when Margaret just told that it's not because you cannot do everything a man can do that you're no less than a man.
Oh, that was good.
That's easy.
Yeah.
To walk. That's easy to have children. Well, for some of men, for some people.
That was the thing he needed to hear. I feel like it's not because he's crippled that he can't try to do something even greater, and even because he's crippled, if he does something cool, people are going to see this as extraordinary because he's crippled. So, just us during the training scene, like it's not
That was
more
cool,
badass than Ragnar
that was
fighting.
really cool. A cool
Yeah,
scene.
that's the thing, and I'm really glad that Ragnar's going to take him. Like, I love that he gave him that chance. That's all he wants. Give me the choice. Treat me like the others, and bring me in your race. Like, I want a chance to prove myself. I love that. As for Ragnar, now he's the other
Maybe
side
it
of
was
the
gonna
episode.
force Ragnar to be more self-conscious and not die because he's gonna take care of Ivar. He's gonna look out for him.
I feel like when it comes to his sons, Ragnar just wants to know that they're
Wow.
strong enough to take care of themselves. The others have become their own men. They
Yeah, but
can make their own choices.
It's not sure about Ivar.
And it's interesting because when it comes to Ivar, he's the one that he wasn't as close to Ivar as he was to the others, and maybe that's why they have a better relationship right now because the others feel betrayed that Ragnar left. They had the father figure and the father figure left, but Ivar never really had that father figure because he was trying, but Aslog was keeping him close to her, so he never felt that pain. He did say though he was angry at him, but maybe his dad leaving and him being like, oh, I needed you and stuff, and he wasn't there, that's what pushed him to take care of himself on his own. I needed my dad, but my dad wasn't there, so I'm gonna take care of things on my own.
That's just so good.
Whew. But Ragnar trying to kill himself in this scene.
And Odin saved him. Did you see all the crows?
I know. It was Odin. Like, I didn't say anything.
Right now, your time is not come yet.
It's always the same with him. Like, he's trying to do something. He's trying to take faith into his own hands, and faith gets taken away from him. It's not your time to die. You still have stuff to do. And he's so tired. Like, I thought he had a shine in his eyes last episode. And I think he did. By the way, I did see that shine in Ivar's eyes too, like in the
he got the same
scene.
spirit.
Yeah, but I felt like he might be more at peace. But you feel like all his mistakes are still there, and he feels them, and he just wants it to be over. I think at this point he's not being tortured by his mistakes. He's accepted that he's done them, and he's ready for his punishment. He's ready for the judgment. And it did feel like he was saying farewell to Lagertha and Floki.
I think he's not gonna, like I said, I think he's not gonna survive this season.
I mean, season 4 started with him looking at the doors of Valhalla closing on him and stuff. And I'm like, I know it's been foreshadowing his death for a while. I'm not ready for this. But there is also a part of me that's like, maybe he deserves it at the end. Like, maybe he needs his rest. What he said to Lagertha, like, I'm tired, I need to sleep. And she's like, oh, it's been a long journey. It wasn't about...
He was tired with his mind.
Yeah. Whew. But I'm glad that he got to say what he said to Floki. Like, Floki and him, they look wiser. They sound wiser. And
They're old men.
Well, they don't look like old men, but yeah.
No, they don't. Well,
but they got to say goodbye, and they got to say their feelings. Like, I love you, man. I love you, too. They were honest with each other, and I'm glad they had that. But because they had that, I feel like we're going to lose him. Yeah. The kids are grown now. Like, it's their turn.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't know. I don't want this to happen, but shit.
It's been a long discussion enough. I think we need to say goodbye for now.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it's already on Patreon. The link is in the description.
So don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch it now. And if not, wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, guys. So
Soon.
We're going to see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.